Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by a huge goal? Whether it's starting a business, writing a book, getting in shape, or learning a new skill, the sheer size of the mountain ahead can feel paralyzing. We look at the finish line, miles away, and think, how will I ever get there? This feeling is so common, and it's the #1 reason many of us give up before we even start. But what if I told you the secret to conquering that mountain isn't a giant leap, but a series of tiny, almost unnoticeable steps? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most powerful, yet underestimated, principles of success and personal growth: the incredible impact of small, consistent, daily actions. We're going to break down why this approach works, how you can apply it to your own life, and share some amazing stories that prove small steps truly lead to big, life-altering changes. Let's start with a concept called the aggregation of marginal gains. This idea was popularized by Sir Dave Brailsford, the general manager of the British cycling team. When he took over in 2003, British cycling was, to put it mildly, not very impressive. They had only won a single gold medal in almost a century. Brailsford's philosophy was simple yet radical. He believed that if you could improve every single tiny thing related to cycling by just 1%, those small gains would add up to a remarkable improvement. And he meant everything. They optimized the ergonomics of the bike seats, tested different massage gels for the athlete's muscles, taught the riders the best way to wash their hands to avoid illness, and even tested which pillow and mattress led to the best night's sleep. Individually, these changes seemed trivial, almost silly. A 1% improvement in your pillow. Who cares? But when hundreds of these 1% improvements were combined, the results were staggering. Within just a few years, the British cycling team dominated the sport. At the 2008 Beijing Olympics, they won 60% of the available gold medals. They went on to win the Tour de France multiple times. It wasn't one magical solution that transformed them. It was the relentless pursuit of tiny, incremental improvements. This is the power of marginal gains, and it's a principle we can all apply to our lives. Think about your own goals. Let's say you want to write a novel. The idea of writing a 300-page book is daunting. But what about writing just 1 page a day? Or even just 200 words a day? That seems manageable, right? It might take you a year or more, but at the end of that period, you will have a complete first draft. That's how countless authors do it. 1 page, 1 paragraph, 1 sentence at a time. The big change of finished book is the result of hundreds of small, consistent steps. This applies to fitness too. You don't have to go from being a couch potato to running a marathon overnight. In fact, trying to do that is a surefire way to get injured and discouraged. Instead, start small. Maybe today, you just go for a 10-minute walk. Tomorrow, you do it again. Next week, maybe you walk for 15 minutes. Or you add in 5 minutes of stretching. Or you do 5 push-ups. These actions are so small they feel almost insignificant. But if you do them every day, they build a habit. That 10-minute walk becomes a 20-minute jog. Those 5 push-ups become 20. Over a year, you won't even recognize the person you were when you started. The beauty of this approach lies in its psychology. When we set massive, intimidating goals, we often procrastinate because the task feels too big. Our brain actively tries to avoid the discomfort and anxiety associated with the huge effort required. But when the task is incredibly small, there's no resistance. Read 1 page of a book. Your brain says, sure, I can do that. Meditate for 1 minute. Easy. Put 1 item of clutter away. No problem. By making the first step ridiculously small, you bypass the brain's resistance and start building momentum. And momentum is a powerful force. Once you start, it's easier to keep going. That 1 minute of meditation might turn into 5. That 1 page of reading might turn into a whole chapter. You're not forcing it. You're letting the momentum carry you. This is the essence of what author James Clear calls atomic habits. A habit is a behavior that has been repeated enough times to become automatic. And the easiest way to build a habit is to start with an action so small, you can't say no. Let's consider another area. Learning a new language. Becoming fluent seems impossible at first. But what if you committed to learning just 5 new vocabulary words every day using an app? In a year, That's over 1,800 words. That's a solid foundation for conversational fluency. You're not spending hours poring over grammar books. You're taking 5 minutes on your coffee break. It's the consistency, not the intensity, that creates the result. This principle works financially as well. The idea of saving for retirement can be terrifying, especially when you see the huge numbers financial advisors recommend. But what if you started by saving just $5 a day? That might mean skipping one fancy coffee. It doesn't feel like a huge sacrifice, but $5 a day is $35 a week, about $150 a month, and $1,825 a year. If you invest that amount and let it compound over decades, it can grow into a substantial nest egg. The giant oak tree of your retirement fund grows from the tiny acorn of saving a few dollars each day. So, how do we put this into practice? First, identify your big goal. What is that mountain you want to climb? Be specific. Instead of get healthy, make it lose 20 pounds or run a 5,000. Second, break it down into the smallest possible step. What is the 2-minute version of that goal? If you want to floss your teeth every day, start by flossing just one tooth. It sounds absurd, but it establishes the habit. If you want to learn to play the guitar, your goal for today could be just to take the guitar out of its case and hold it for 2 minutes. Third, focus on consistency, not perfection. This is crucial. There will be days when you don't feel like it. On those days, it's even more important to do your tiny habit. Even if you only do the absolute bare minimum, you are reinforcing the identity of someone who shows up. You are casting a vote for the person you want to become. Missing one day is an accident. Missing 2 days is the start of a new, undesirable habit. Don't aim for a perfect streak. Aim to never miss twice. Fourth, track your progress. Seeing how far you've come is incredibly motivating. Use a calendar, a journal, or an app. Put a check mark for every day you complete your small task. When you look back after a month and see 30 check marks, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment that fuels you to keep going. You're creating a visual representation of your new habit and your growing momentum. Think of it like building a wall. You don't just magically have a wall. You lay one brick perfectly. Then you lay another brick perfectly. You do this every single day, and soon enough, you have a wall. The key is to stop focusing on the wall and just focus on laying one brick. Your only job today is to lay today's brick. This mindset shift, from focusing on the outcome to focusing on the process, is like it reduces anxiety, eliminates procrastination, and makes the journey enjoyable. You're no longer crushed by the weight of your ambition. Instead, you're empowered by the simplicity of your daily action. The next time you feel overwhelmed by a goal, I want you to ask yourself, what is the smallest possible step I can take right now to move forward? Don't worry about tomorrow or next week. Just focus on that one tiny action. Write that one sentence. Do that one push-up. Save that $1. Meditate for that 1 minute. These small, daily acts of discipline and consistency are the building blocks of an extraordinary life. They are the whispers that, over time, become a roar. The big changes you're looking for won't come from one moment of heroic effort. They will come from the cumulative effect of 1,000 small steps taken faithfully, day after day. So, what's your one small step going to be today? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're working on. Sharing your goal is a great way to create accountability. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on personal growth and living a more intentional life. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Make yours today. See you in the next one.